Welcome to Head Wreck, that weekly show where we talk about the things that are wrecking our head, and Alan's already making me laugh, and that wrecks my head every single week that I cannot get through the introduction without Alan making me laugh. Alan, how are you?
I am good. John, how are you?
Good. I'm really good, actually, despite the tech issues we had last week, and now we're all back to normal, and we all sound great, I hope. And if people
We
want to
have had
tell
other
us,
technical issues
we
this
have
week, though.
had so many tech issues this week between the two of us and sorting out permissions and all that kind of stuff. Don't even get me
Just to
started.
clarify, permissions on social media, not
Um,
permissions in
no
terms of what we
permissions
can and
for
can't
other
do.
to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no,
We
not
we, we, we
well.
just go ahead without permission.
Yeah, no,
Our,
we know what we
our
like and
safe
what we
word is
don't like.
don't stop. Yeah. How
Yeah.
confusing would that be? Your safe word is don't stop. Don't stop. Okay. Well, no, don't stop.
And if you want to tell us what your safe word is, you can contact us on.
Head_rect. Like,
Yes.
follow, subscribe. No poking anymore because
No,
that's
poking's
permissions.
gone. And you can email us at thelads@headwreck.com. And to be fair, we tipped on it last week. Again, thank you so much for everyone for listening, because we are kind of making waves a little bit and people are starting to enjoy the stories and talk about us a bit, which is great. It's kind of one of those things like, yay. And also people are from all over the world. So we've got loads of listeners. I added up, there's about 17 countries around the world that listen to us, which is amazing. I don't know how, because we're shit on social
Two
media. I
counties.
literally
Two
do
counties.
not know how. There's two counties, Dublin and Wexford, that listen to us,
Yeah, that's it.
and 15 other
Excuse me.
countries. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
despite the ailments of last week, we're back and ready to go. And Alan, I believe, has a humdinger of an email, apparently.
Oh, I think I just
So
said
this
email
better be
there. Yeah,
good.
wasn't
This
sure.
better be good. He kind of egged it up
I
before we got going, and he said it was good. So, feckin' better be
so
good.
just for our listeners, just so you know, is this is not scripted at all. We typically don't know what each of us are going to talk about.
No.
For once, the one I went into here is John has about a 1% knowledge into this. But funny enough, the story I told him is not this story, and I did that purposely. This is a different story to what I told you.
Oh, you
But normally,
fucker.
this is
Right.
completely free flowing.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah, we should tip on that too. Actually, yeah, it is totally unscripted. We don't know what we're going to talk about unless it's something like
obviously, if anyone
really,
who's listened
really,
will
really.
know
But
that.
I actually can't even think of one instance where we said we need to talk about this. What do you think? Actually can't think of one.
No,
Because
that
if
was a
it is
personal
really bad, if
conversation.
it's really bad, we just cut it before we post it out there anyway. So
So if you ever listen to a snippet that's only 30 seconds long, that was actually an hour-long podcast. We can only use 30 seconds of it because that's how
yeah,
bad the rest of it was.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, anyway, so
Go,
so
go.
we got an email from a Connor C. And just clarify that as C for, I nearly said kangaroo, C for carrot, not SEA or SEE.
C for carrot. I don't think that's the phonetic alpha or whatever.
What,
What?
what, what, what,
I don't
C for
know.
what?
C for
Chamomile.
concubine. I have no idea.
No,
Right?
it's certainly not kangaroo anyway. Anyway,
We go with
we move
carrot. Go on,
on.
go.
Yeah. So the subject is a little confused, but little is
A
spelled
lit.
Lidl.
I like it. I like it. Yes. Or is that a little confused? I don't know. Anyway, go on. I get what they're doing. Go on.
Okay, I'm just going to move on then. So it starts off straight to the point. If someone walks up to the top of the queue with 4 or 5 items and asks, can they go ahead of me with my full trolley of shopping? Should I let them? Normally, there's 2 to 3 other people in the queue, and I feel like I'm speaking for all of them also with letting them in. And in brackets, don't get me started on those who just assume they can do that and don't even ask. They're 2 separate things.
Okay, so the first thing is, should we let them go? And then the second one is people that just automatically go, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
fuck the people that automatically go, right?
Agreed.
That's my point on that. No, you have no divine right to go ahead, whether you have more or less than I do. I'm in the queue in front of you. If someone asks, has someone ever asked me? No one has ever asked me, can they
You
go
probably
in
turned
front?
around to them and said, hey, do you want to go ahead of
I
me?
know, because you feel bad because they're looking at you with those puppy dog guys going,
Yeah.
I just have a loaf of bread. But then my one worry is he'll go, yeah, come on. And then she go, Mary, come on, he's letting us through. And
So,
the child
so
comes
there's
running
more
with
to
a
this
trolley.
email. There's
Okay.
another
Oh,
small
sorry,
statement in this
sorry.
email.
I thought
No,
that was
no,
it.
no, no,
Okay,
no,
right,
no,
right.
no,
Go
no.
on, go on. I'm intrigued.
What happened to me recently was what happened to me recently was I let the person go in ahead of me. Then they walked off to get more stuff from the shop. Now, that's a dickhead move.
It is. I
Dickhead
mean,
move.
it's a dickhead move, but it's a genius move as well.
A
In
genius move,
fairness,
yeah.
right? It
As you
is.
said, it's like,
Yeah.
Mary, come on in. They go through
Yeah.
with
A
their
big
26.
trolley.
I think that's in a movie or something like that. I think, isn't it? That was a scene of that in a movie where let somebody in and they go through like 2 or 3 trolleys.
Yes, there is. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's some
It's like a National Lampoons or something like
cheesy
that.
Adam Sandler movie or something like that. Yeah, yeah. But it's one of those things. Look, I get it. You know, when you're going in and all you need to get is a C for carrot.
Heaven
That's
the
all you're
carrot.
getting. And you know, you want to go buy. It is
Aldi.
really nice when people let you buy. But
Yeah.
the funny thing is, right? So I have been in a situation where I let people buy and people
Yeah.
have let me buy, but there's the awkwardness then, right? So they're ahead of you and they have maybe one item, right? So the person that's in front of them is still packing up their shopping. So your stuff has gone as far as the end of the laser on the conveyor belt and has stopped, and they have a carrot, for example. So they can't put it on the conveyor belt because your
Can you
stuff
buy
is
a
there.
single carrot? The bag of carrots with your
I'm
bag of
sure you
bread
can buy
and
a single carrot. I'm sure you can.
oh yeah,
Um,
good point actually. Yeah, you could lose carrots.
yeah,
Well, like
you
lose
can.
carrots. It's a great television program.
But
Loose women for anyone who
but
doesn't know
there's
that
that
one.
look, but that's the awkwardness then. So when do you put in the carrot or the bottle of water that you're getting?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you have to go,
Hand it to
sorry,
them.
hold on, that's theirs. I'm in front of them. You have to give it
Yeah.
to there's that, and then there's not only that awkward part, then there's the awkward part of you need to talk to the person too, because you've just been nice
Ah,
to each
thanks very
other. And
much.
then there's a bit of
Thanks very much.
dialogue. I fucking hate
But
it
then
when the person doesn't look at you when you've paid for the shop and they just
don't
walk
acknowledge
out.
it. Yeah.
When they don't
But
go,
what's
thanks very much for that. You're still there. I'm gone. Bye. You
so? What
know?
happens if someone else now walks up with one item? Let them through again. Like, it's a one
I know it
person
can't be
gate
yeah,
basically.
no, it's one. Yeah, yeah. You can only let one, unless like there was someone really old or something like I absolutely would. But you know, um, but I know
And how
it.
many items? How many items is regarded as
Uh,
being
if you can
an
hold it in
okay
one
amount?
hand, I think let them buy. If you can hold your lad in one hand, let them pass.
And there you go. Yeah, that's
No,
what
I
she
think
said.
one
There you
hand
go.
of
Yeah, yeah.
stuff, I think you can go. But I know, it's a weird one. Um, yeah, it can be frustrating and it can be intimidating. Like sometimes if I'm in a mad hurry and I have a few things and I see someone at the corner of my one or two thing and you know they're looking at you, I just don't make eye contact. I go on my phone or something because I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm actually in a hurry.
yeah.
I'm not in the mood. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to look at anyone.
Absolutely.
So you're just going to have to wait in the queue like everyone else.
No,
Sorry.
no.
Sorry.
And an interesting thing happened during the week to me, and it's kind of a similar enough story. Was I was in Tesco and I went to go onto the escalator, like a travelator, whatever it's called, and I
Yeah.
let a woman just in front of me. I was like,
Mm.
"Ah, go on, you go ahead of me," and I just stood back. It turned out we were both going to the customer service desk,
Oh
and she was ahead of
no.
me, and she was returning clothing. 22 minutes later, roughly,
Ah
I was still
no.
behind her. I'm going, my nice gesture screwed me
Yeah.
over. And I'm looking, going, I have only till 7:30 to do the lotto. I got there at 7 o'clock. I'm going, this fucking bitch doesn't hurry up.
But
And I don't win the lotto, you know.
I that is so annoying. But I think in that instance, you could have been okay and go, sorry, I know I let you ahead of me, but I didn't realize you're going to do something. I need to get. I think you have a fair point to ask her there. But
Yeah,
it's
I know.
still
Yeah.
awkward doing it. But
Yeah.
speaking of the travelator though, that's another funny one, especially in Tesco, because Tesco and Wexford is massive, massive long travelator, right? So you get a trolley, you go on the trolley stop automatically. It's so fucking awkward if you don't have it on one
Literally,
side or the other because you
it
cannot
wobbles.
move
They
it and
topple
everyone's
over.
fucking piling up behind you. It's so awkward. And then there's that moment when you come to the bottom, you're like, this is going to topple over. This wheel better move when it
Yeah.
gets to the bottom, or we are all dead.
And
Oh.
I'm going to add another annoyance to this as well. This is we're unleashing the beast. It's the people who then stop at the end of the traveler and go, "Oh, what am I going to do now?"
Oh
You're
my God.
hurtling
Yeah.
towards them and
Yeah.
like,
Get
get out of the
off your
fucking
phone.
way.
Get out of the.
I
Yeah.
can't go
Yeah.
anywhere. And they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sorry." It's like, what are
And
these
it's
people?
intimidating because it's literally like you're hurling towards their impending doom and you can't stop
Yeah,
it unless you start walking
no.
backwards.
With the trolley's
Like Indiana
wedged in
Jones
the
when he's
thing.
running
So
away from that big ball, big boulder
yeah,
thing.
it is a little bit like that. Yeah. But that really annoys me. And like get it, and it always happens in the airport as well. People at the top of the stepped ones, you're like, I can't stop anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you kind of just barge
I'm
your way
always
through.
afraid I'm going
Yeah.
to burst my shin off those step ones. The
Oh
step is
yeah, yeah, I
so
know,
big,
yeah.
like it hasn't happened, or I don't know. They always have these spikes at the end. I'm going to be sucked under or something. But was that the end of the email? Are they just saying it's just annoying with the queue? Or
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Basically,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
the gist of this was going is it wrecks my head going having to let people or feeling obliged to let people in.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's what they're
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
the people who just barge away in, you know.
Yeah, no, hate that. Hate that. Alan, you're going on holiday soon, as am I soon. One thing that came up in my mind, this is not an email, this is from me because we mentioned flights or holidays or something in the last podcast. If you want to know exactly what we said from the editor, tune into last week's podcast, then you will know. But
What number was that? Just in case people aren't listening in any order, it was just
24.
some number 24.
Podcast
So happy,
24. This is 20.
happy,
Happy
happy
quarter of a
quarter
century
century.
podcast, Alan. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Made it this far. Well, speaking of flights and holidays, why does a flight from Canada have to stop in England to go to Ireland? I could have Googled this between then and now when I wrote this on my phone to remember to bring up the podcast, but maybe you do a lot more flying. I don't get that. That makes no sense to me at all. Like, I
Why
don't
there's
know.
no
I'm
direct
sure.
flight? Yeah, yeah, I know
No,
what you
but
mean.
no, but like, yeah. I mean, is it just because it's going so fast from Canada, it can't slow down in time until it gets to England and it has to come back? It's going
So
downhill. It's like the travelator when you're stuck behind a
yeah,
trolley.
no one gets
Or
a
too
plane.
far.
Get out of the
Yeah,
way.
I don't know. It's an
I
odd one.
think
Is it just to
I
get
think the
more money
reality
on the way and pick up passengers in
I
England or something?
yeah, I'd say so. I think the reason being is, and again, I'm making an assumption based on this is going, you might find there might be 40 people want to fly from Ireland, but you might have 240 people who will probably fly from England because it's a larger market. So the flight that we go over to Canada, it's our own flight from Dublin to London, as an
Mm.
example. Then the London flight is typically going to be busier. That's what I assume it's going to be.
Yeah, but what if nobody from London is? What if it's a red eye in the middle of the night and no one is on? I don't know. It's just stuff like
But
that
it's still the
always
same flight
baffles
anyway.
me.
Like they're not going, oh, we have to wait for all these Irish people to land. It's just it happens to be a connecting flight. Maybe they're getting all the duty free.
Yeah,
Is
maybe.
it Brexit?
I don't know. Or are there certain like stops you have to make at airports with some contract? I don't know. It's a
I
weird.
think
It always
maybe yeah,
baffled me. The whole
maybe
going.
there's the pilot.
Yeah. I'm flying from I don't know Knock to Dublin via Heathrow. Do you know? Like it doesn't make sense.
Imagine. No.
For all of
Yeah.
our American and non-Irish international listeners, Knock is a tiny airport in Ireland. Dublin is a slightly bigger airport in Ireland, and Heathrow is a very large airport in the UK. There you go.
Thanks for that.
Geography
So
lesson there.
my assumption is that maybe the pilot has a country scratch off map and just wants to
Oh, one of
that,
those. Yes, I've always
yeah.
wanted one of those, but the sad thing is I don't have that many to scratch off, which is really annoying.
That's what Crabs does to you.
It is, to be fair, it is. Um, yeah, so I have another thing that annoys me, and it's
Sure.
recently happened. Because I think we'll come back. We'll circle back to the flight thing when I figure out actually how you do it. Excuse me.
Are you trying to Google it here
So
at the moment, are
no,
you?
I'm not. I'm looking at on my phone. Sorry, of the next thing.
I'm gonna go to Chat GPT and see if we can find this out.
Okay, right. You do that while I ask the question. Um, what wrecks my head? It just happened at the weekend. Easter just happened. So the clocks, right? The
Oh my
famed
God, yes.
clocks going back and going forward, right? There's a number of wreck the head topics here. And one of them, I know when my wife was listening back on this, she's going to be like, you get, because we always have the same argument. So one thing is, I can never remember whether to go forward or backwards, ever. Never, ever, ever can I remember which one it
Spring
is.
forward, fall back.
Yes, that is the saying. But if you overthink it, you can also say spring back and fall forward. It works both ways.
No,
Yeah, you see, now
no.
I've messed it up. I used to always say spring forward and fall back. That's how you remember. But you can say spring back and fall forward. People
No,
fall
no,
forward
you
and
no.
people spring
Yes,
back. No,
but you can
no,
also say spring 97 miles 48.6. It doesn't make any sense. Do you know, like
but that's what wrecks my head about it is because I know the one, I know what you say, the saying to remember which one it is, but then I think it too hard. And I think going, oh, is it the other way around? Anyway, so that wrecks my head.
changing on your
Then
clocks. Changing on
then
your
it
clocks is going to be
changing
one of them.
clocks wrecks my head, right? Because it's always the one in the car that gets you because you've done them all in the house and then you're like, oh fuck, what time is it? It's always on the weekend, so you think, the time is different on a Sunday, whatever. But what annoys me more than everything is everyone going on about how fucked they are from losing an hour of sleep.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Everyone non-stop going on about it. A week later, I'm like going, sorry, it is nothing to do with losing an hour of sleep. It's because you were out in fucking coppers till 6 in the morning and you have to get up on a Sunday. That's why you're fucked. It's nothing wrong with losing, not
No,
about losing an
no,
hour.
I
It
still am
cracks me
wrecked. And the
up.
reason being because
No,
I'm still,
no, stop it.
no, and I'll
Stop it.
tell you the reason why I'm still going to bed late, but I'm waking up an hour earlier.
Oh, shut up. You see, this is the
It's
conversation
true.
I have with my wife all the time. So when our kid was small, she used to always say, "Oh, it ruined his routine." And I was like, "It's not though. Like time is just a construct, a concept that we put in place. Nothing is actually changing if we didn't have time. Nothing at all is changing if we didn't have to
This
look at a clock."
podcast would go on for a long time if we didn't have time.
And it'd be more consistent, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, that just makes me laugh. It wrecks my head and it makes me laugh at the same time. It's just that big ordeal of the clocks going back or forward. But do you remember a few years ago they were saying they were getting rid of this? That in Europe they were getting rid
Yeah.
of it.
Oh, but
What
or
what
some
happened with
countries
that?
were.
What happened with that? Like, why didn't that happen? Because what would be different if we got rid of it? Nothing at all. It's still at some
The
point
cows would
during
still be
the
awake at the same time.
I know this is apparently it was done for farmers, wasn't it?
It
Years ago.
wasn't
That's
it?
where
Yeah.
the
So yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
exactly. But at the same time, it's still going to get dark during the day sometime in the year, and it's still going to be dark in the morning sometime of the year. So the clock thing doesn't matter. Just get up when you feel like it. Doesn't matter if you're late for work. I don't know. Anyway,
So
the clock thing kind of wrecks my head a little bit. That's
so
my two
so
cents on
so
it.
so
Take it
here's
or
a
leave it,
complex
Alan.
question. Here's a
Go on.
complex question for you.
Right.
Have we lost an hour or gained back the hour that we got in October?
Well, exactly. So it all we have to answer that question. And my son asked me this question, believe it or not. It wasn't today, it was a few days ago.
I am your son.
I said, well, technically we have to go back to the very first time it was introduced. And
Which was when?
I don't know,
1920s.
but again, it's probably something I should have done in prep before the podcast. But you need to go back to the very start. You need to go minus plus, minus plus, minus plus, minus plus to see where we actually are.
Yeah,
Am I
exactly.
wrong? Well, we do. That's what you have to do, isn't
And
it?
see, they're saying that we might need to bring in an extra like
Second,
second
I
or
saw that.
something.
Yeah, yeah, because the world is spinning too fast. How? I uh,
DST, daylight savings time, started in 1916 on April 30th, to
19
be very
now
precise.
I would never a table that was a table question. I would have been saying 1960s. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have said 16. Wow. So maybe that's what the Easter
19.
Rising was all about. They were giving out about the extra hour.
How would the
Ah.
rise an extra hour? It was October because
Yeah.
the Easter sleeping or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Easter Rising two pecking early. Right. Well,
Ah,
that's
good
that's
point. Yeah,
my
yeah.
right there. There's my bit. Have you got another email that you alluded to and caught me off guard at the start, which you alluded to some email there. Go on, tell me.
This is a very long email, so I'm not going to read the whole email. So I'm just going to get to the gist of this email.
The
This is
jizz,
from
the jizz.
A Jer MacG. Sorry.
Jer McG, yeah, go on. Jer McG.
This is from a Jer MacG. I mean, Jer is either short for Gerald, Gerard, Giraffe, Geronimo,
Is MacG as in MacG, as in like Mac Daddy, Mac G, capital G, or is it
capital
GEE?
G. So that's Gee, Mac
Yeah, I know.
Gee.
That's what I was. Yeah.
No, Mac
McGee.
G. So it's
Right,
probably
go
short
on.
for. So it could be a format for.
What?
But basically, the gist of this email. For me, this is kind of bullshit. But we're going to get to this point anyway. The gist of this email. It goes on
Thanks for your
way
email, by the
too.
way. We've already said it's kind of bullshit.
And too long.
So,
The gist of this is going is
right.
when you order food online,
Yeah.
how long it takes to collect it, and the
Oh, a
specific
takeaway, like, okay,
example,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, takeaway. Specific example of this is going when I go to the cinema. I pre-order my food online first. I then need to go
No,
to the cinema
no,
to pay for it first, and then go and collect my popcorn
no.
after paying for it after ordering it online.
Who the fuck orders popcorn? Never in my wildest dreams had I heard of that or done it. Number
No,
one, it's
like
too why you smuggle your own in up the sleeve of your
I,
jacket.
and
First,
you're walking,
I
yeah,
don't
you
know
walk in,
when.
yeah,
Yeah, you're walking in like
down your jocks.
Mr.
I'm
Blobby,
thinking
or
I
the
can get to
Michelin Man.
airport security with cocaine wrapped around around my legs. It's just a pack of Revels and Maltesers, semi melted by the time you sit down, and then you open them up and you roll down the cinema, and you're like, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, I'm sorry,
That's me.
Jerry McGee or whatever the fuck. smuggle in your popcorn, go to like your shop around the corner and buy a bag of popcorn for €1, not
Yeah,
popcorn that's been made days ago and cost
for like
€70.
27 euros. Yeah, exactly. But it is nicer though. It is. I do agree that popcorn is nicer in the cinema. But you can buy the microwavable packet yourself, and
Yeah,
you know, because
that's what
yeah,
I
go
do.
to. I do, yes. What I do is I go to cinema. Next door there's a Harvey Norman and or Curry's. I go in there, try out the microwave, try the popcorn in, and then just go into the cinema. That's what I do. Bring a knob of butter with me, throw it in. Their air
Uh,
fryer. This is great. There you go.
I have a feeling Jerry is doing the old dick in a box popcorn trick. That's why he's ordering the popcorn because he is, he needs to have that tub for the person that's digging into the popcorn and they end up grabbing the end of the rod. That was
Probably
that was
somebody
very Alan Partridge.
probably somebody orders a kid size. I'd say.
No, I'm sorry. Give I'm I'm
I get
I'm
the I
I'm
get the food takeaway one. I do get the food take when you order and then they're serving everyone else like, but I've already paid for it. I'm just waiting to collect it.
yeah.
And you're waiting there for like half
You
an hour. But
should
I could have
literally
driven
be
there
able to
myself.
go, can I grab the popcorn order number 27? I paid for it.
Yeah,
And see you
yeah,
later.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put in what movie you're going to, and it's going, here's your collection. What's your
Yeah.
name on it? Here you
Yeah. Yeah. That makes more sense. But like cop on. Stop paying for popcorn. Cinemas it's way too
go.
expensive. No, screw that. Right. Next. um
I have one. I'm going to jump in another one
oh yeah, go
of
on.
my
Yeah,
annoyances
all right,
recently.
go on, go on, go on. Yeah, yeah.
I have several charging cables. Thankfully, most things are now USB-C, but I've like a
Yeah.
million and one different cables.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the problem that I have is some of the cables only work when you're standing on one leg at a 90-degree angle and you have to hold your phone at a weird. I just find them really,
Yeah.
really bizarre. You probably have that. And you're in bed, it's like ding charging, and it comes up ding charging every like 3 or 4 seconds, and you're trying
Yeah.
to do something on your phone.
Yeah.
So infuriating.
It's
It's like,
every
why is
cable
that
that's
happening?
not USB-C does that. Micro USB and
No, I have a
uh,
USB-C one that does.
so yeah, well, to be honest, that's one of the issues that I had with my mic last week. The USB was, I think, screwed in it, so that's why I had to get another mic.
Was it USB-C for cars?
Oh, very good,
Yeah.
very good, very
Yeah,
good.
so that's
Uh,
something that
yeah,
that
but you
annoys me.
can't throw them
I've
out though. You can't throw them out though either.
actually
You need to keep them. You might
I
need them
have a
for something.
box
If even
and
it's
actually
just to tie a mattress in a knot.
yeah, or to use as a belt or something like that,
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
No,
We've
but
all been.
that's a good point. That wrecks my head is I'm not saying I was going to do forager, no, a hoarder. I have like a big plastic box of all random cables and
Yeah.
like I've Nokia chargers in there from
I
like 2000 just in case.
But
Who
Alan,
knows? You
you'd
never
be
know when you need
so
them.
surprised when they come up. So what did we buy recently? I can't remember what was it?
Popcorn
I
in the
don't
cinema.
know. It was something. I think I think my wife bought something on Temu or something. Oh, we'll get to Temu in a second, right?
Yeah.
So she bought something and it came and it was USB, micro USB, and I was like, fucking hell, where
Now, yeah,
we had to go
yeah.
search and found one, but it was like, yay, thank God I didn't throw that out. So there comes a time when the cable comes in handy
No,
if it
yeah, no,
works.
I, I absolutely agree. And then you do throw it out, and when you do throw it out, it's a time when you actually need it, like a week later. Like, fuck's sake, why did I
Yeah,
throw it out
I know. Yeah, I
all
know.
the time?
All that
Yeah, yeah,
valuable
all the
copper
time.
down the drain.
Oh, I never
Uh,
thought of that.
yeah, all the copper. Yeah, my dad
All
strips all the
right,
wires
millionaire.
and sells it. Sells the copper
From
in the
like,
wires.
is this from the
Oh,
charging cables from the local housing estates or the people
you
else?
name it from any cable he can find. If it's going to waste, he strips it down. He peels off the rubber shell and strips it and sells it. There you
And where does he sell it? Does he go to coppers?
go. Yeah. Editor's message here for all our international listeners. Copper Face Jacks is probably the most well-known nightclub in Dublin City. It is the most frequented, the busiest, making the most profit and the most fun, and it is where you're definitely going to go to get the nightly shift. For our international listeners, a shift is when you French kiss a lady or a man or a non-binary person. There you go.
And
Coppers,
it's open until 6
open
a.m.
to
It's full of
everyone.
guards, nurses, and it's mainly from people from the country. People from Dublin typically don't go to
Oh yeah,
coppers. It's mainly
no, you will only get into coppers if you're wearing a check
yeah,
shirt that's stuffed into Levi 501 jeans and you're wearing Aviate shoes, boat shoes.
or a GA jersey,
Or oh yeah, or they actually if you're wearing
or just bring Supermax with you.
a GA jersey for our international listeners. It's GAA jersey, which is the Irish Sport Gaelic Athletic Association. There you go. Geez, we're all about the learning this week, aren't we? Oh my
Aren't
God.
we? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, speaking of learning and not on the topic of what we spoke about at all, Alan, why do
Yes,
people
Jocko.
say it's too cold to snow? Fuck right off. I've been listening to that for years. No, no, and don't you dare go Googling Met Éireann website or something like that to tell me why it's too cold to snow.
I kind of know the answer, but I'm not going to give the answer
I
back
have
because I
never
agree with you
been,
on this.
I've never been to Antarctica. I've never been to all of these places.
Does it
They're
snow in
fu
Antarctica?
they are fucking covered in snow. You
But
go
does
to
it
Mount,
actually snow or it's just
you go to
non-melted
you
snow from
no,
years
sure,
ago?
there's wind, snowstorms, and everything. You go to climb Mount Everest, there's snowstorms, and it's minus, I don't know, whatever, 40 degrees. I don't know what it is, Celsius. For our listeners, that's
So
what we
here's a
use here in
question.
Ireland,
Yeah, yeah,
Celsius, not
yeah. For our
Fahrenheit.
American
But
listeners,
but we
or
say
like
here it's
crocodile
too
eyes.
it's too cold to snow. Fuck off with your too cold to
So here's a
snow.
question for you.
No,
Why didn't it snow in the freezer?
because there's no atmosphere in the free. Alan,
But there
fuck
is when
off.
you open the door.
No,
You open up the atmosphere. It's your freezer in
no,
space.
that's different because evaporation and
But what about
uh
a walk-in freezer?
okay, hopefully some of our readers can answer that. I don't know. But all I know is I do not believe the saying that people say it's too cold to snow because snow is frozen water. It can't be. It,
It's
it
too
doesn't
hot
make
to be
sense to
sunny.
me. It's
Too
yeah,
hot to be sunny.
too cold to be snow.
Yeah,
Or I
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
I
No,
or I got what's the other one that annoys me as well in the summertime? Um I got windburn. No,
what?
I
Is
got
that like salt burn?
windburn when it's really windy on a hot day. People say, "Oh, the wind made me get sunburnt." No, I think you'll find it was the hot scorching sun. The wind didn't do anything to that.
And the
Anyway,
27 pints you had out in the back garden with
yeah,
no cream on you. That's what
when
caused
you
it.
fell asleep outside of Coppers, yeah, but that whole thing of too cold to snow, and then there was another one. When I thought of too cold to snow, actually, I just thought of this one as well. Um, was when people say, you know, when someone is falling from a great height, they always go, "Oh, they're dead before they hit the ground." Suffocation. Did you ever hear that before? They're dead
I've
before they
heard
hit
of
the
that before it
ground.
hit the ground.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the suffocation
Really?
one.
Because
Yeah, never
I
heard
know
that.
people who parachute all the time and they're perfectly fine, Alan. So how does that work?
It's because you're not hitting the ground. The hit was
No,
in your statement you just made.
no,
Like,
no, fuck you. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not on about the hitting the ground part, but are they before they hit the ground because of suffocation? No, well, then how do people parachute? How do people skydive? I'm putting it out there to the world, literally the world,
well,
Alan, because we've
how
worlds
did
of
they jump out of
listeners
a
now.
plane and fall towards the ground due to gravity?
No,
That's how
but
they actually sky.
there was a saying that like
How did he
when you're
breathe?
falling
Like,
through you're not able to breathe, they're dead before they hit the ground. But sure, then people would never parachute or skydive. Anyway, there's my 2 cents. I'm really ranty today now. It's because I've had so many tech issues and issues over the last few days. I'm so ranty. I'm pulling out all the stops. Right, I need to breathe. Alan, give me another one. Give me one. Give me something that wrecked your head.
this is a very simple one. Different sized batteries.
I didn't know where you were going with that. Different sized, different sized batteries.
Batteries.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
AA to AAA, and you don't know, and then you take out the what you think is a AAA, then you go back in and put in AAA, and you go, fuck's sake, it's like half the size. Like, what battery was in it originally? And then you get
Yeah.
the used batteries mixed up with your new batteries and don't really
All
know what's
all the
going on.
time. All the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you're like, I just throw them all out and start again.
Yeah, or if I'm changing the battery in the remote or the Xbox controller or something like that, I take them out one at a time, put them in my hand, and like, yeah, like you were saying, I put one in and I go, right, that's definitely the new one. Shit, is this the other one the old one? So you know you're doing half and half. You're doing a rice and chips on the batteries, half and half. One's good, one's bad. So you don't even know
You're
what you're
washing
getting.
the tea bags.
Yeah.
You're washing the tea bags. You're drying out the tea bags to
It's so
reuse them.
annoying.
That's what you're doing. That
Yeah, and
and
then
and
have
and yeah,
recycling, holding on to the batteries, all that kind of what do you do with them? It's so hard to know
I
what to do with the
I
batteries.
I just put them in the ground.
Put them in the ground.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
the electricity goes back in. It's grand. It's all fine.
I was, okay, so we'll come back to that another day. Once put them in the ground. Okay, right. That's a new
So,
one. I wasn't expecting that. That's as bad as the
but,
email we got buying popcorn online.
but also equally as well as I have some devices here to take the D batteries. No, the ones that are like the
What the
size
massive ones? Yeah, what uses them
of like a
anymore?
toddler shoe. A
Yeah,
toddler shoe.
they're
That's the
just
best way. I'm using American measurements
they're
now.
the size of a
American
cheap
measurements.
dildo.
A stub. That's technically called a stub.
A stub.
So Yeah. So for our American listeners, 4 inches is the size of a child's foot. I don't know. I said foot. I see the look you're giving me here. I
I'm
said
saying
child's
nothing.
foot.
Go on. Yeah, but like what
Yeah, but
uses
the
those
giant
batteries
batteries.
anymore? Yeah. It
I
used to
have an
be
automatic cat
torches
feeder.
and that uses
The
the
giant ones.
come
And
here,
they're
Al.
about
Look,
27 kilos
I'm
in
sorry.
weight.
I'm not a vet or anything, but you shouldn't be feeding the cats those batteries. It's not good for them. They're too
They're very
big.
powerful now.
Give them the
Yeah.
little tiny watch
The
batteries of
battery
anything.
ones. Yeah. The watch batteries. Yeah. The CR232s, whatever they are.
That's
Yeah.
so
Good point.
unusual, the big C batteries though.
Yeah,
Like you
I
don't see
remember
them in
them growing up in
anything
the
anymore.
80s.
Yeah,
In the 80s, you had some weird pinball machine
yeah.
that took
Or a
like
torch.
56 of those batteries and it lasted 10 minutes and then it
Yeah.
was dead.
Or a
And then
torch that
for
was literally like a
a
candle on
candle.
a cake.
Yeah,
And it
it
used
was,
the
and it
batteries
was
in 1 minute.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah.
So then you went and bought, at the time, you used to buy I said recycled battery, rechargeable batteries that you'd have to plug in like for 3 days solid. They'd come out boiling hot. You put them in. They didn't have enough power to do anything. They die after, as you said, after 3 minutes. And like
Yeah.
14 hours of charge equates to 3 minutes of usage.
Dear, and you what were you doing with your torch years ago? Well, I know what I was doing. Do you remember with the torches? Sometimes there used to be a sticker on it, or you get a card with it where it told you what the Morse code was. You know, you like flash, flash.
No.
Like Morse code.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know, I
I'm
know,
not,
I know
I'm
Morse
not going to
codes.
pretend to know what Morse code is, but maybe we just got fancy torches, and maybe that's what it was. But they used to have like the Morse code and alphabet and
Did you
SOS. So
used to be a
we'd be
spy?
doing SOS out the window. Like we were never saved. People didn't give a shit. Sure, they couldn't see. It was only a candle. It thought someone was just
Yeah,
blowing out a
exactly.
candle across
And
the
you're in the
road.
middle of nowhere. There was a
Yeah,
farmer up
true.
the road going, sure, I can't see it because the daylight savings time has kicked in. It's an hour earlier now.
Yeah,
You
and
can't see it
I'm
anymore.
out here looking at my C for carrots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Torches.
Yeah.
Jesus, I remember them. And do you remember you used to get these little attachments you put on top of them, and then you can shine like a picture of, I don't know, ET or something on your wall, and you're like, oh, look, there it is. And then that's it.
E.T. No, I remember being that young and then using a torch to look at my own ET. It made it would look like an ET, shining down your pants, going, oh, there's ET there.
Well,
This is that. Yeah,
here's a lot of people don't know this. What's ET short for?
he has no legs.
Because he has little
Ah!
legs, bastard. I didn't think you
Yeah.
knew that joke. God damn it.
Of course I know that one.
See, I'm actually gutted. I
We
was,
used to call a teacher in my school ET. And I'll tell you the reasons why. He had a lump on his neck. So ET stood for extra testicle.
Alan.
True
Oh,
story.
I thought you were going to say he
True
was really
story.
small.
No, he had a
Jesus
lump
Christ.
on his neck. So he was called ET for extra testicle.
That's
100%
brilliant.
true story. We
Uh,
also we also had a teacher who was very, very large. We
oh,
called him Slim.
Jesus. He was very large. You call him slim.
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 Yeah.
Oh, that's
Also,
good. I
but
like
again,
that.
that was
Yeah.
that was done back in the day.
It
And
was
I'm also very
we didn't know back then. We didn't know.
no, we
It
didn't.
was different
Like there
times.
was
We didn't know.
I'm laughing now, and this is terrible, right? There was a guy who had there was a teacher who had a wheelchair, but he was able to walk with a cane, but he walked like robotic, so his nickname was RoboCop.
But that is pretty good. Did he know that was his nickname? That's the
He
thing. I often
did,
wonder how do teachers feel with
yeah.
the nickname. I'm sure
Like
some of
it's
them be
horrible
cool.
nicknames. Like
Yeah,
now, it's like that's horrendous. But as you said,
yeah, I
back in
know.
the 80s and prior, like I mean, just not being bummed by a priest,
Not saying
you were
it
kind of doing
is,
quite well, you
not
know.
saying it was acceptable, but everyone laughed
Which the
collectively.
priest
We
bumming
all did it.
or
No.
the
Oh no, if you laughed, he'd do it harder. Um, yeah, yeah, from torches to priests to teachers in wheelchairs. I like it. I like it. I'm trying to
yeah, but
think
there was
now.
nothing head wrecking behind them. But yeah,
No, but it's just it's funny. It's a funny story. Let me see. I have something here. Oh, here we go. I'm going to finish on this, right? So, and this is going to irk a lot of people, and it'll probably irk you slightly because
nice.
I probably do it all the time anyway, but I consciously try not to do it, and I hate it when people do it. When people don't pronounce words properly. For example, my two pet peeves, actually three, are when you go into a coffee shop to order a croissant, not a croissant. When you go into a deli to order a jambon, not a jambon. Or when you go back to when you pissed off, you didn't get your jambon, and you go back to the coffee shop to order an almond croissant, not an almond croissant. right? That
Notions.
fucking
These
wrecks my
notions.
head. But I get looks when I do it, and I do like an almond croissant, and I say it that way, and every time I get looks and laughs,
And
and I
do you
don't
go to a
care because
restaurant
that's
or a
the
restaurant?
so this is exactly what I knew you were going to do because
A restaurant.
I said to myself when I say this to Alan, that fucker is going to pin something on me that I say that I'm going to go, oh yeah, yeah, because restaurant
And you say a
is a
BMW or
French.
BMW
Why would I say BMV?
because that's what it is. It's
No,
BMW.
isn't it works?
No, because it's German. It works
So it's
BMW.
Works. It's
Yeah,
Works. Yeah.
because it's German.
Okay.
BMW.
Okay, so you don't say VW, you say VV or WV. What
Good,
do you
yeah,
say
good
for
point.
VW?
Well, see,
Volkswagen.
yeah,
Right.
Volkswagen, yeah. But why do we say VW? We shouldn't. It should technically be VV. But no, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Volkswagen, yeah,
I know, but this is exactly what I knew you were going to do.
yeah,
So
yeah.
because there's some words which I do try and say properly, particularly French words.
I would do it for a lot of Spanish
But
words. I did it for
do
like
you? Like what?
paella
Paella.
for
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
paella,
yeah, that's true. But a
paella.
lot of people are a bit like, it's paella. Do you want an almond
Yeah,
croissant with your paella?
yeah. Oh, people
It's
spell
just
like
a
Mallorca with a J.
Majorca. No, now that I don't understand. It's Majorca. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Stuff like
yeah.
that wrecks
So,
my head. But I knew you were going to fucking, and you got me with restaurant. Of course, I say restaurant. Fuck off. Everyone says restaurant, right? But you're
yeah,
right. We should be saying restaurant. Restaurant.
restaurant,
Restaurant.
restaurant,
Yeah.
with your croissant for your almond croissant, or
Yeah.
not
And your
almond, almond. I don't know how you don't know what you said. How do you pronounce it?
almond. You don't pronounce the
Almond.
L. It's almond.
Well, that's my name is Anne.
No, it's almond. You don't
Anne,
pronounce the
Anne.
L. Look, that's just the way it is, and I will happily tomorrow morning when I get up for work have a coffee. Or should I be saying cafe? I don't know. Now I'm after screwing
Yeah,
myself.
see,
I don't know
and when
what
you
to
say,
say to
so do
say.
you say a large coffee or can I get a grande, please?
I 100% do not say grande. I don't say
Exactly. So
any of
yeah,
that shit. Right?
bullshit.
I
I give
actually
us a coffee.
it
That's
annoys
it.
me even having to say Americano. I'm like, I want a black coffee. Because when you're at home making a coffee, you don't say, I'm going to make myself an Americano. Although, now that I've said that, I would say I'm going to make myself a latte. So why wouldn't I say Americano instead of black coffee? Jesus, Alan, it's
Yeah, it's
all
on
fucking,
rampant.
I don't know what's going on today. I'm wrecking my head even more. Stuff is annoying me even more now. Actually, I don't know. We need to wrap this up before I actually freak out. I have so much more to say. Um, Alan, you've 100% wrecked my head, but you made me laugh.
Good, good.
And uh, screw your man and his fucking ordering online popcorn. If you want to tell us some email that we might and we might not read out if it's too long or if
Or
it's
it might
shite.
take us 4 months by wrapping paper and sellotape. But hey, man, sure,
Exactly,
look,
exactly. If
we'll
we
get to it
miss a few
eventually.
podcasts, you can email us at thelads@headrec.com and you can DM us or you can contact us on the social. We're really only on Instagram, to be honest, because it's the one everyone's on. X is gone. Blue Sky is
And
not gone. Truth Social is gone. So
parents are on Facebook.
exactly. I don't want my parents to see what I'm doing or hear what I'm doing. But yeah, you can contact us there at Alan.
No, not at Alan. That
No, tell us.
you won't really get
Sorry, yeah. Tell us, Alan,
it.
where can they contact us? Not at
Yeah.
Alan.
Well, yeah, head_rect. And just to clarify, that is a little line at the very bottom, not the dash in the middle and not the word under.
Yes. So, yes, that's where you can get us on the socials. And yeah, again, thank you everyone for listening and happy 25th podcast anniversary, Alan. See you next week. Bye.
Slán!